when you're ready.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today and for joining New Voices, New Rooms. Our 2021 version is themed Opening Doors, which is happening all over the country. Our full conference will bring together 1,000 people from NABA and CEBA's regions, along with all of you. Our team worked hard on the 2020 virtual event and took all the feedback from booksellers and publishers to improve on our success. We've streamlined the process, simplified the studio spaces, which is what we call exhibit spaces in the real world, and changed the schedule to work for everyone. Our team, they'll all just raise their hands and wave. Our team consists of NABA's Kit Little as the point person for vendor and bookseller registrations, as well as invoicing. CEBA's Nikki Leone handles communication, advertising, and manages our Zoom platform. Nikki is also the guardian of the Reader of the Last Arc program, which she'll explain in a moment. SP Rankin is the wizard behind our website, including studio oversight. Lucy Perkins-Wagle and Kathy Ellen Davis are on social media. My very creative partner, CEBA's Linda Marie Barrett, will dream up amazing author panels and themed events around the books you pitch to us. I'll focus on education, the Editor's Buzz programs, and pick of lists. One of the things we changed this year is the overall schedule for the week. Monday, September 27 and Friday, October 1st will be dedicated to bookseller education and roundtables. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be publisher and vendor focused, with the push for appointments, visiting the studios, and attending author events. We've also reimagined office hours, which we'll discuss momentarily. And now I'm going to pass the mic to Linda Marie to talk about some of the new features.
Thanks, Eileen. So a couple of new things for 2021. One of them is interludes. The interludes are another opportunity for your author. They are 5 to 10 minutes of pre-recorded content from your authors that'll be placed into our programming schedule following education and author panels. So the length of time for the interlude is comparable to the time your author would have on a panel, and it would work really well for a poetry reading, an illustrator creating art in their studio, or book-related wellness tips or creative play like bullet journaling. We also thought it would be really good opportunity for someone who wanted to give a kind of a TED Talk style presentation on a theme from their book, or the author could walk us through the spaces that inspired the book they'd written or show us where they wrote the book. Our goal with the interludes is to provide an intimate and focused opportunity for your author to speak directly to our booksellers. And we really encourage people to be creative with them and take advantage of the virtual space. They'll give really great exposure for your authors, as we'll show them across the Zoom channels, and you won't miss out on an audience. If we have 3 panels at 2 o'clock on one day, your interlude would be presented simultaneously across the channels to viewers right after that event. And the deadline to submit an author for an interlude is July 15th. Another new thing for 2021 is the Vindies. The Vindies are videos from independent bookstores, and they're videos that are that bookstores use to showcase something about their store, author interactions, something really unique, as you'll see when you see the award winners. We created the Vindies to honor the spirit and creativity of these stores and their videos. These will only be videos by CEBA and NABA bookstores. And the award categories are Best Drama, Best Comedy Musical, Best Animated, and a special category for this year, Best COVID-related videos. The judges are drawn from the publishing and bookselling world, and our 2021 Vindie sponsor this year is the Independent Publishers Caucus. We're going to have a special event during the conference of the Vindie, where we'll show you the Vindie finalists and the award winners. And we're hoping that everyone dresses up for this event and brings their own popcorn and champagne. It's going to be wonderful. We encourage you, if you've seen bookstore videos from NABA and CEBA bookstores, to go ahead and nominate those store videos, or if you have relationships with the stores, encourage them to self-nominate. And the deadline for Bindi nominations is also July 15th. So those are two things we're excited about this year. And now I'm going to turn it over to Nikki to talk about our registration process.
Okay. Am I on? Can you hear me? All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the New Voices, New Rooms platform, which is largely the same as what we had last year. We're hosting New Voices, New Rooms on Zoom, as we did last year. Everybody from the team over the past year has attended all of the various virtual conferences and things that have been offered while we were all sort of on lockdown. And so we all got a very sort of had experience with the different kinds of platforms that were available, like Hopin or Forge. And we decided to stick with Zoom as our main platform, mostly because it offered the most flexibility for us, and because we're coming into a period where our stores are no longer on lockdown. They are opening their doors. And so we feel like our audience, our attendees, are going to be doing many things. You know, they're going to be trying to open their stores and deal with customers in their stores and figure out what business looks like in this new post-COVID world. And the Zoom platform is the one that offered them the most flexibility to be able to watch programming and attend programming and participate in programming, no matter where they were or what they were doing at any given time. So that's why we're still on Zoom. That said, we did work very hard to streamline things this time and to make everything much easier for attendees. Among the things that we did is we've simplified the registration process. Attendees will no longer have to register for every single event in the program. They're all going to be pre-registered, and they'll receive basically, you know, a master login link, and just have to click on a link to attend any given program in the session. And we're also not going to have as many competing concurrent events. I think we limited it to three channels, 3 concurrent events at any given time, so there will not be as much competition between different events in the program. And Linda Marie did mention that the schedule itself is actually set up so that we have it. The show is bookended with bookstore education, and the main part of the show, in the middle of the show, is all about publishers and authors and books. So the education seminars will no longer be competing with author panels and things of that sort. For publishers, the registration process is also been simplified. And actually, I'm going to share my screen to just give you a sneak peek of it. So here we go with that. Okay, y'all see that? Here's our New Voices, New Rooms website. It's been sort of revamped and sort of updated and upgraded for 2021. Thank you, SB, for that. And there's a very sort of straightforward registration process. And I do want to mention, first off, that we need all publishers, anybody who's participating in the show in any way, we want to have registered, because if you're not registered, then you won't be in our list and we won't be able to reach you. So this is our main registration page. And as you can see, we have options for booksellers, for publishers, and for others. And I wanted to take you through the publisher registration process just briefly, because it's a little different from what you've seen, what you might remember from last year. We asked for a lot of sort of contact information at the beginning, what association you're a member of, if you'd like to renew, what sort of role you play in your company, that sort of thing. And then towards the bottom, here's our menu of options of things that you can sign up for. And these include our studio spaces, which is what we are now calling exhibits, but they operate differently this year, and I'll get to that in just a second. And they also include whether you would like to be interested in partnering sponsorships or take advantage of any author events. And so you can fill out as much of this as you want. And this is basically a checklist of things that you are interested in. What'll happen once you register and submit this form is that this information goes to the NVNR team, and then we get in touch with you to sort of nail down the details of what specific things you actually want to participate in, what programming. If you want, how many rep pick spots you want and when, and how many editors buzz spots you actually need and when you'd like to have them, that sort of thing. So this initial registration form gives you sort of a ballpark idea of your commitment to New Voices, New Rooms and your participation in it. But it's not a finalized thing in any way. You'll end up being invoiced actually from NABA. We'll handle the invoicing for anything that you actually confirm. So is that all clear so far? No. I can't actually see the chat when I'm sharing my screen, so somebody yell at me if I'm missing something, okay?
No questions so far.
Okay. The main thing from a publisher standpoint that we want to go over is what we're calling studio spaces. We live in a world now where, like I said, people are, and sorry about my dog, people are active in doing things while they're online. So we can't expect them to come to our website. We have to take our content and bring it to them. So Studio Spaces is the format that we came up with to do that. And we have what we're calling a studio gallery. And what you get as a publishing partner for New Voices, New Room is one of these gallery spaces. We put up a couple here just to sort of give you an idea of what they look like. And these are, in effect, sort of business cards of all the important information about your company. And they have several different options of information that you can provide. Let's see if I open up one up here. You can have a extensive company description. There's a place to add a company website. If there's information, if there's a page that you've created, or there's something that you've created that you've specifically targeted on New Voices, New Rooms attendees, and you have it on your website. I know a lot of times last year, publishers built their own pages on their websites for New Voices, New Rooms. There's a link to direct people to that page. There's a place to put videos. The most important thing is that we have contact information for your sales reps for both NABA and CEBA territory. There's places to put in your particular preferred way for people to create an appointment with you, set up an appointment with you. Other things that also are included on here, and you don't actually see it on that sample because I don't have those, are places to put catalog links, product information. Let's see if I can find one of those. You can upload, say, a catalog. You can see the catalog here, or event grids. You can upload multiple pictures of products. You can see here, I did that for one of our programs here where we just sort of showed you some of the options that were available for our 21-day challenge program. And you also, and this is also not on our samples, but there's also a place for you to put forms for, say, new account information. First, if a store is a new account with you and needs to fill out a specific form, there's a place for you to include that information. All of the information that you that's available on these in these studio spaces are what we prioritized is connecting you with the bookstores. So it doesn't prioritize products so much as it does the various ways to get in touch with you, for bookstores to get in touch with you, and the various ways for you to be able to get in touch with bookstores and get the information you need from them. Also, what will appear on your cards are any, once we get the schedule set, any of your authors that are in the program, information about their events will appear on your cards. And if you're sponsors of any kind, then that also appears on your card. One of the things that we heard back from with our attendees, our bookstore attendees after the show, was they really missed having a sort of easy way to see all of the exhibitors that were participating in the show or the things that were available from them. They missed their show directory, in effect, with all the show specials and things like that. So our studio gallery here makes that possible. It's easily searchable. You can just type in type in any word and it will automatically search by that word. It's also easy to filter between different kinds of studios, and most importantly, it can be downloaded, which is what a lot of our bookstores ask for. And it could also be, we're looking at it in sort of gallery format, but you can also look at it as a spreadsheet if you'd like to. So we're hoping that this gallery, this studio gallery, is more functional and useful for our attendees in reaching you and finding out information about your products and services. And we're also going to be creating a bookstore version of this that we're calling Bookstore Row that will do the same thing for bookstores on your behalf. And in that case, bookstores will be able to fill out information about their show and the kind of information that they have to bring to you over and over again, like information about their store, information about where they're located, what they're good at, what their programs are, who their various staff members are, and the roles, like who you would get in touch with if you want to talk to the buyer versus the events person. It will have a place for them to upload their press kit so that that's on hand and easy for you as the publisher they're interested in doing business with, a place where you can access that easily, and a place to put, a sort of small photo gallery so that you can get a kind of sneak peek of what those stores look like.
Nikki, we have a question.
Okay.
What is the deadline to have our studio design in, and will there be a tutorial on how to build the studios? The nice thing about studios is that, first off, the deadline is fluid. I mean, Linda Marie said that the deadline for a lot of the programming and stuff is July 15th, but in effect, that just sort of starts the process with studios. And what happens is once you're confirmed how many studios you want, then what'll happen is we'll send you a link and you just basically fill out the form with all of this information. The nice thing is that link is going to be unique to you. It'll be your email address and your password that reaches it. And your studio will be accessible and editable for you up until the show starts. Once the show starts, then we're going to sort of, turn off editing so that the information stays constant throughout the show and everybody, sees things. And if there's anything that needs to change in your studio, after that point, you can contact one of us at NVNR. Like if there's a terrible typo or something that you want corrected, we'll be able to do that for you. But the general information about show specials or, the contact information for the reps that you want stores to be able to reach, That is all going to be editable by you as soon as this show starts. And it is literally filling out a form. I wonder if I have the form up here. I don't think I have the form up here. But it really is a question of, fill out it's like filling out a Google form, only it's not Google. So it's easy to do. It updates automatically on your behalf. If you have any questions, there's a little link to click and it will reach, I think it will reach either me or SP, and one of us will respond and, clarify if there's an issue of any kind. But it's not like you are going to, it's not like last year where you would upload a lot of stuff and then we would create a page for you and then you would sort of confirm, that it looked the way you wanted to. And there's a lot of back and forth that way. You have total control over your studio and what it looks like and what you put up there. There are a few required fields. The rep information is required. The studio, the show specials, there's a section for show specials, and that was very important to our attendees last year. We heard a lot about that in our sort of post-show surveys that people were having trouble tracking all that. So that's a required field. But otherwise, if you want to change up your logos or add different books to your little product listings and things like that, you can do that right up to when the show starts at the end of September. Did that answer that question? Okay. Well, I think the next thing on the list after studios is communication. And I'll just say real quickly that New Voices, New Rooms has pre and post show communication planned starting in August, going through maybe say about halfway through October. And we will also this year, once again, be doing our morning email to all attendees, letting people know what's coming up for the day. And there is sponsorship information for that if you want to, and promotional information opportunities for that sort of thing if you want to have your books promoted. So, but that I'll turn that over to Kit and Luna Marie and Eileen to talk about. So I think the next thing that I need to talk about is that we are going to do, we do have a different system for review copy giveaways. Rather than having an event, a form at the end of every event that stores fill out, we're creating a room like other conferences have done that lists all of the review copies that are going to be available or for New Voices, New Rooms. We're calling it the Readers of the Last Arc. Have I got that right? Readers of the Last Arc room. And that room is going to be behind a gateway so that only attendees can reach it. And an attendee will log in and select all the books that they want. A little bit like the studios, it's going to be one of those things where all the books will be sort of tagged and filtered by their publisher, the author, and the event that they were at, so that they're easy for booksellers to browse. And the bookseller can then just check from a checklist the review copies that they're interested in. Their form will stay open for the entire length of the show. It will close on the last day of the show, and then New Voices, New Rooms will provide all of our publishing sponsors with the list of the people who had requested their various books. So there won't be like 18 million little Google forms to keep track of this time around. There'll just be, you'll get one list, and it'll be a list of people and the books that they're interested in. So, any questions about that? Okay. Well, I think I will turn it back over to Linda Marie and Eileen and Kit for talking about the schedule and office hours. and the hospitality suite. Let me
Okay,
stop
there
sharing.
actually was a question about how many arcs can each publisher list in the room. I think it's totally up to you. We haven't instituted a limit. So you can put in as many as you feel comfortable giving away.
Yeah, I will say that the books, like I said, they will be tagged. So if there's arcs in the room that are things that you're giving away, but the author's like not at the show, they won't have the tag for their event or their author, right? They will just be they will be there sort of without an event tag. Mostly, we wanted to make sure that, I don't know, you know, when I went to, I think it was Winter Institute, I went and looked at some of the books first. I went to the gallery room first and checked things I was interested in. But then I saw this great program, and so then I went back, you know, and found the ones for the programs that I had been really especially impressed with. So we just wanted to make sure that booksellers had a chance throughout the show to make their, you know, choices, and we were not going to submit that form until the end of the show, so everybody sort of gets an equal chance at whatever galleries are available.
And actually, Nikki, Dominique is asking if they can monitor how many books are being requested during the show. Is that possible?
Actually, that's a good question, and yes, we can monitor that.
Well, are we monitoring, or can the publisher see it?
I think we can have the publishers monitor it. I think I can create a link. We would need to know who would be able to see it, but I think we could do that. Couldn't we, SB? Create a link so that people could see their books and how many requests they have for their books.
I think so, because we haven't like built the whole thing yet. So I'll say sure.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yes. The answer to that is yes.
Done. Nikki and SB will make it happen.
We can make that happen.
Drive it to your house.
There is another question. Will we be sending publishers a grid of who requested for each separate title?
Yes, I mean, we can send the grid however you want. We were going to send a grid by title, well, by publisher and then by title, and then the list of the people who wanted that title. But we can also do it, a list of people, and then, you know, sort of columns of which books they represented. It's pretty much up to you all how you want to receive it. It's just going to be a spreadsheet, your typical spreadsheet.
Okay.
All right, we wanted to share a change that we made to office hours. We will have a Zoom room that we are calling our hospitality suite, our welcome center, and that is going to be open all 5 days. But we are going to schedule that room to also cover office hours, and we're going to set aside specific hours on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 3 blocks of time from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1 to 2 p.m., and 4 to 5 p.m. So it's shorter times than we had last year. And a big change for that is we are going to make each of those hours themed, so it gives booksellers a focus and a reason to jump in and meet with your team. So we'll devote some office hours specifically for opening new accounts, meeting with publicists, or connecting with a sales rep. So people don't have to be sitting in a Zoom room for hours on end, hoping someone's going to come. It'll be very focused, very short times. And we want the person who signs in to just stay in the welcome center, not go off to a private room until someone comes into the room and says, I'd like to meet with Macmillan. And then we'll send those people off to a private room. And when you're done, you just come back out. And you can always stay muted and off camera until we, call your name and tell you that someone is there to visit with you. It does not stop you from also putting in your studio a way for booksellers to get in touch with you directly. So it's just in addition, if you'd like to spend the time, but we'd really like to focus it on times for new accounts, times to meet with the publicist, and times to connect with sales reps. And if you could also consider scheduling telephone reps during those times with sales reps, our booksellers really want to connect with the person they work with during the year. And if you have any other ideas for meetings during those times, let us know. We don't have all the answers, and we'd love your advice as well. Is there anything else, Linda Marie, you want to add to that?
No, not to that particular thing.
All right, then jump on to the next thing, Linda Marie.
Okay. Another thing that we wanted to mention, this is not new to 2021, but it was one of the bookseller favorite aspects of the 2020 show, was the show box, which is another opportunity to connect with booksellers. We send a show box to the first 400 booksellers who register for the show, and we give you an opportunity to place items into the show box. We and the booksellers that receive them display all the contents on social media. It was a big fun hit last year. We timed them to get to booksellers and their stores a week before the show. So it's really great prep for the show. We like when what's in the box to correspond to something in the virtual show. So it's like a tangible element. Last year we had tote bags, books, t-shirts, posters. We had this ghost stress ghost that I still use daily. And just a lot of cool swag that was in the box. So I hope you'll consider participating in that too. We want it to be even more special this year. That also has a deadline of August 1st to commit to putting something in the show box. And then we need those 400 items to get to the shipper by August 15th. And Kit is the person who usually works with publishers on that. And she always has great suggestions too. Oh, book lights. I forgot book lights too last year. So I just wanted to put a little pitch in for that.
And do you want to just cover all the opportunities we have, Linda Marie?
The opportunities for
sponsorship and additional besides just your studio space?
Yes, actually, we've gone over interludes and we went over a show box.
And we have different levels of sponsorship.
Oh, thank you, Eileen.
And Kit is sharing the screen.
I wasn't quite sure where to go there. So please, you go ahead with this. If you could go with the sponsorship opportunities.
All right. So we do have various levels, and with those come packages, author events, guaranteed spots, advertising, education, interludes. All of those are included in the various tiers of sponsorship. So we hope that you will support us in a big way, and we will support you in a big way through sponsorships. And then we also have everything is a la carte as well, purchasing author events, the studio space. Only authors with publishers who are in the studio will be featured at the show.
Mm-hmm. Eileen, as you say, we roll out the red carpet for our sponsors.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right.
We also have a variety of advertising opportunities that are available for our sponsors and our studio partners. And we have banners for the website. We have sidebar banners, square footer ads that go all around the website. If you want to be on the homepage of the website, it's a $100 bump to get your logo onto the homepage. We also have added this year for the first time, thanks to actually a vendor request, a dedicated e-blast that will go to SEBA and NABA attendees for NVNR. That's $700. So that's the newest email advertising. And of course, we still have the header banners and the inline banners for those emails to NVNR. And our absolutely favorite Showbox item is also available there. for the first 400 registrants who get them, which is a favorite for everybody. And yes, please be in the show box. It's my favorite thing. And I do have lots of ideas. So if you want something that's different, let me know and we'll talk about it.
All right, I think we've kind of run through New Voices, New Rooms 2021 version. Does anyone have any questions? We hope you're on our site right now, filling out the forms and ready to join us. So if there's no more questions, we can bid adieu until September. All right, well, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate your support of New Voices, New Rooms and the effort that SIBA and NABA put forth for our booksellers. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, everyone.